I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. In triangle XYZ, angle C is a right angle. I told you most of the triangles are dealing with right triangles. So I'm gonna draw the sucker out. I got Z right there, so that's gonna be X and that's gonna be Y. I don't care where I put them, I just wanna put them. And the length of YZ is 24 units. So YZ, I'm going to put 24 right in the middle. Now my brain's already thinking, could we be dealing with special triangle rules? Here, special triple triangles could be a 3, 4, 5 triangle. It could be a 5, 12, 13 triangle. I think this pad is heating up. That's why it's slowing down. All right, so far, that's what I'm thinking in the background. Because if it's right triangle, it's dealing with Pythag rules. So Pythag, yeah, special triples, 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13, among some others. Now we continue reading. The length of YZ is 24 units. So YZ, oh, I already wrote that down. 24 units dead in the middle. Now, if the tangent of X, let me change colors so it doesn't get messy here. All right, if the tangent of X is 12 over 35. At this point, they're saying from the angle of X, the tangent, which is SOHCAHTOA, opposite over adjacent, they said it's 12 over 35. They're probably giving me ratios. Remember, they actually gave me the measurement 24 units for ZY or YZ. It's 24 units. But with the tangent of X, it forced me to do opposite over adjacent. So TOA, opposite over adjacent. That means I got 12. I put it right into 24. Do you see a ratio? 1 to 2 ratio? Good. The adjacent would be immediately next door, not the hypotenuse. Is the adjacent. That'll be next door. That'd be 35. So therefore, knowing that there's a 1 to 2 ratio with the actual measurements, that means my measurement of the short leg is going to be double 35, which is 70. We got it? All right. Now they're asking, what is the perimeter units of X, Y, Z? So there's two ways of doing this. I can actually take the 12 to 35 ratio, figure out what the length would be for the hypotenuse by using a squared plus b squared plus c squared. Let's do it that way. So 12 squared plus 35 squared is going to be equal to c squared, and then I'd have to solve for c. So let's go ahead and do that. So 12 squared is 144, and then 35 squared is going to be equal to 1225. If I added those guys together, it would equal 1369. The square root of 1369 is 37. So 13, was that it? 1369. So c squared equals 1369. But in order to solve that, I just have to s square root both sides. So now c is going to equal 37. Got it? So if I have my 37 there, now I can add 12 plus 35 plus 37. So 12 plus 35 plus 37 equals 84. Now, that is not the answer. Those are my ratio answers. That is bait. Remember, the actual answer is in blue, but there's a 1 to 2 ratio. Notice 1 to 2 ratio to blue, 1 to 2 ratio to blue. So we'd have to have a 1 to 2 ratio. In other words, our hypotenuse would be a 74. So the actual value, if we're dealing with 1 to 2 ratio, so what would be 84 times 2? That's going to be 168, and that is the answer to our question. This is a very slick question because they know students are going to make some careless errors. So I don't want you guys making careless errors. Be very careful and do your mission methodically.